Now, let us finish this portion. There was no power. Now, let us go for the COP. First, we have to know the energy balance for the generator. Means how much uh, energy means how much energy is coming in, how much energy is going out. Energy coming in equal to heat energy much. Now, so mass of the heat, mass flow multiplied by the enthalpy in both the sides is supposed to be 2 in terms of different type of energy coming in and different type of energy coming out. The mass flow M1 plus M3 H5 is equal to M4 H4 H and QG generator produced, and this is the amount of mass going out, and this is the amount of giving in the our refrigerators. So we are putting the value of M1, M5, H1, H5, and M4, H4, and QG. Then so we can, after simplification, calculating, we'll get the value of QG, means the amount of heat given to the generator. So the COP is the heat extracted by heat given 9.66 is 1254.4077, which is equal to 0.77. The heat transfer rate in the generator is also given as QG is equal to QC plus QA minus QE. Means QC plus QA plus QG, that is QC, the energy released in the condenser, heat absorber plus, and that is the heat absorber minus the minus energy absorbed during evaporator. So after putting this value and making the calculation, you get 1254.36. Relative COP, we know the maximum COP is given as temperature at the evaporator divided by temperature at the compressor. Temperature at compressor minus temperature at evaporator means low temperature divided by high temperature minus low temperature multiplied by Tg minus Ta, the heat generated minus heat absorbed divided by heat generated. So if we put this value, we'll have COP maximum will be 2.004, and relative COP is equal to COP divided by COP maximum 0.77 divided by 2.004 is equal to 0.384. So with this, vapor absorption system is complete. Let us go for the psychrometry. Now, let us start introduced the air conditioning system. So far, you have done the air refrigeration system. Now, we are supposed to include the air conditioning system. And in order to do so, we have to go through the term psychrometry. Is that branch of the engineering science which is with the study of moist air, the dry air mixed with water vapor or humidity. So we have to know what is moist air. Dry air plus water vapor. It also includes the study of behavior in dry air and water vapor mixture under various sets of conditions. Study of behavior of dry vapor and water vapor mixture under various sets of conditions. How this mixture of dry air and water vapor mixture behaves. But first, you have to know the study of moist air, which is dry air plus moisture, how this moist air behaves under various conditions. The Earth atmospheric temperature is a mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide. Yet for the purpose of psychrometry, considered to be a mixture of dry air and water vapor only. We don't go to the details of nitrogen, hydrogen, or this construction, this phenomenon, but we go to the nitrogen, hydrogen, argon, and carbon dioxide. We just avoid it. We use it only the dry air for our own purposes. There are certain psychometric terms. There are so many psychometric terms, yet the following are important. What is dry air? The pure air, dry air is a mixture of number of gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, argon, neon, helium. But the nitrogen, oxygen have the major portion. So nitrogen should have 78%, oxygen is 20%, almost 21%, and argon around 1%, carbon dioxide 0.03, hydrogen 0.01. By mass, it is by volume. By mass, it is 75.47 for nitrogen, 23.19 by for oxygen, argon 1.29, carbon dioxide 0.085 percentage. This is all percentage, okay. And molecular mass is 28, 32, 40, 40, or 44, and 2 respectively. Now, the molecular mass of dry air is taken as 28.99. Molecular mass and the gas content of dry air is equal to 0.287 kilojoule per kg or 287 joule per kg. So, the molecular mass of dry air is given. This is the molecular mass, and gas constant. Gas constant for dry air is 0.287 kilojoule per kg divided by or 287 joule per kg. The molecular mass of water vapor is taken as 18.016, and the gas constant for water vapor is 0.461 kilojoule per kg or 461 joule per kg degree Kelvin. The pure dry air does not ordinarily exist in nature because it always has some water vapor. This is certain important points. There is no pure dry air. There must have some water vapor. The terms air, whatever used in this case, means the dry air containing moisture in the vapor form. The Sutu with this only air is given everywhere, will have dry air plus mineral form. Air is equal to dry air plus moisture. Both air, dry air, and water vapor considered as a perfect gas. Both of them, dry air, both water vapor considered as a perfect gas because both exist in atmosphere at low pressure. Both exist in low pressure. Has all perfect gas terms can be applied to them. All the perfect gas terms can be applied individually. The density of air is 1.293 kg per millimeter cube at pressure 1.013 bar. Density 1.013 bar is 1.29 or 101.34 kilojoule per kg. Now, and at temperature 0 degrees centigrade, 273 degree Kelvin. So, the dry air is 1.293 kg per meter cube density. Pressure of pressure is 1.01, means atmospheric pressure, or 1.101.35 kilonewton per kg, and at temperature 0 degrees centigrade. So density we know from here with atmospheric pressure 1.01 bar or 101 kilonewton per meter cube, and temperature 0 degrees centigrade or 273 Kelvin. A moist air is a mixture of dry air and water vapor. The amount of water vapor present in the dry air depends on the absolute pressure and temperature of the mixture. This is a mixture equals that is dry air and water vapor. The amount of water depends on the pressure, depends upon the absolute pressure and absolute temperature of the mixture. So the amount of vapor present always absolute pressure, absolute temperature. saturated air the saturated air, it is a mixture of dry water and water vapor. When the air is diffused to the maximum water absorbed or diffused, the maximum water amount of water vapor will create. The water vapors usually occur in the form of superheated steam, as an invisible gas. However, when the saturated air is cooled, the water vapor in the air starts condensing and the same may be visible in the form of moist fog or condensated in what cold surfaces. The water vapors especially occur in the form of superheated steam. It is a mixture of dry air and water vapor. When the air is diffused, the maximum amount of water vapor into it. The water vapor usually occur in the form of superheated steam as an invisible gas. Water vapor usually occurs in the form of superheated steam as an invisible gas. However, when the saturated air is cooled, the water vapor in the air starts condensing. The same may be visible in the form of moist fog condensated on cold surfaces. What is saturated air? Mixture of dry air and water vapor. When air is diffused, the maximum water into it. So it is saturated means it is absorbing the maximum amount of water it can absorb. The water vapor occurs in the form of superheated heat. And however, the saturated air is cool, the water vapor in the air condensing, and the same may be visible in the moist fog and condensing or liquid fluid surfaces. So first of all, the saturated air, you can absorb the maximum amount of air, moisture, and the dry saturated air with cooled oil, the air vapor with the air starts condensing, and the same may be visible in the form of moist fog condensing in cold surfaces. Now, the degree of saturation. It is the ratio of actual mass of water vapor in a unit mass of dry air to the mass of water vapor in the same mass of dry air, which is situated in the in the same temperature. A particular temperature. First, actual mass, actual air. It's mass of water vapor. Mass of the water vapor contained in it. Water vapor it contains. And saturated air, mass of, here also mass of water content. Water vapor it contains. So its ratio and the ratio between these two is known as degree of saturation. So actual mass and superheated vapor mass and saturated vapor mass. That is the ratio. This ratio is the degree of superheated to the saturation, humidity. It is the mass of water vapor present in 1 kg of dry air, and is generally expressed in terms of gram per kg of dry air. It is the mass of water vapor present in 1 kg of dry air, and it is generally expressed in terms of mass of per kg, 1 kg of dry air, 1 kg dry air, mass of water vapor it contains present in it. And in terms of gram per kg of dry air, gram per kg or gram per kg of dry air. It is also called specific humidity. Specific humidity or humidity ratio. Mass of dry air for per kg of dry air. Mass of water vapor present per kg of dry air in terms of gram per kg. Absolute humidity. This is the mass of water vapor in per cubic meter of dry kg. So specific or relative humidity is per kg of dry air, mass of water present per kg of dry air, and absolute humidity is the mass of water present in per meter cube of dry air. It is generally expressed in terms of gram per cubic meter of dry air, gram per cubic meter of dry air. Everywhere we are saying gram per kg dry air, here gram per cubic meter dry air. This is relative specific. Specific উল্টো লিখেছি। This is first of all specific absolute. Then relative humidity. It is a ratio of actual mass of air. It is a ratio of actual mass of water vapor in a given volume of moist air to the mass of water vapor in the given same volume of saturated air and in the same temperature and pressure. So if a particular temperature, pressure is given, the actual mass of a given volume, the actual mass, actual mass of vapor or saturated mass of vapor, mass of vapor and saturated mass of vapor. That is called actual mass of vapor and of the given volume of moisture to the moist mass of it in the same volume of saturated air in the same temperature pressure. When it is saturated, when it is actual, when it is saturated, that is relative humidity. Next is dry bulb temperature. It is the temperature of air according to thermometer when it is not affected by the moisture present in the air. When the air is totally dry, temperature is given by thermometer when the air surrounding air is totally dry and moisture content is negligible. It is that dry bulb temperature generated by TD or TB. Wet bulb temperature is the temperature of air recorded in a thermometer when this bulb is surrounded by a wet cloth exposed to the air. When bulb is surrounded by a wet cloth exposed to the air, such a thermometer called wet bulb thermometer. Means first dry bulb thermometer is that when the thermometer temperature is temperature is taken when the surrounding air is totally dry and negligible moisture, and when wet bulb temperature is when the bulb of the thermometer is covered by a wet cloth exposed to the air. Such thermometer called wet bulb thermometer or given by TW or TWP. Let us finish it here. And let us stop the class. Thanks for you not coming.